All right. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports Podcast. I'm with my man's Maximus.
And I'm with my
Um,
man, Magic the Magi. How you, brother?
all good, bro. All good, all good, all
Yeah,
good.
man. Apologies to everybody for this late post. Life was lifing, but here we are.
Yep,
So let's get right into it, shall we?
yep, let's do it, brother.
Um, let's start with the injury list. Um, there's one particular we've got. Us we've always got injuries. It's the Arsenal thing. Um, Saka's still injured. In fact, Saka hasn't been in training at all ever since the international break. When they announced that list of injuries, I actually thought he was one of the not real injuries, but it would appear it's legit.
Yeah.
So it looks like he'll be out, but um, we still have cover there. Here's the interesting position, though. Calafiori is also apparently injured since the Sporting game. He wasn't
Mm,
in training, and also in his position, the left back position, Nkapia is also still out. Right. So
mm.
what we're possibly looking at is Skelly getting a go at left back. What are your views? How are you feeling about that?
Um, no, I think Skilly can handle the job. I do think he can handle the job. With Tell me, um, with Saka being is does Saka have a newborn?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't he just get married the other day?
Yeah, I heard
Um,
somebody mention that he's also got a child recently, right? And this is something I find quite interesting because if you look at what's happened to Odegaard after he got a baby, like
mhm.
their form kind of dropped. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure if these boys are focused on being dads at home more than they focused on you know playing on the field and stuff. So I'm not quite sure if Saka's got a newborn, but it would make so much sense why his thing had dropped because the same happened to Odegaard. As soon as Odegaard had a child, he was just never the
Hey,
same.
but that's strange, man. I know babies to bring the most out of people. Now, when you're
Yeah.
talking about it like this, you're gonna make me hate babies, man. Because holy hell, this is not the this is not
Mm.
the time
No, it's not even
to be
about. It's not. Yeah,
absconding from
look.
work because of babies. That's
The
what it
thing is
is.
that we also don't know the sort of wives that these young boys have. You know what I mean? Today,
Hold on a second. We must remember something. They are footballers' wives. They get in where they fit in. Okay, it's not the other way around.
no, no,
The
no, fair
soccer
enough.
players do not
But
subscribe to that rules.
I tell you what I've noticed about these younger generations, Max. The woman
Hmm.
is like these women will be like, oh no, I'm not gonna raise this child by myself. I need you to get involved. I need you to help me, and I can't imagine these young lads having to like now get involved and be, look, I guess it's always beautiful to get involved in terms of raising your child and stuff. Um, and actually, participating and stuff and not hiring a nanny to be doing all of that for you, as much as you have the money for it. But I really wonder if that's one of the reasons why Saka and Odegaard have slightly dropped off because I know that since Odegaard had a child, he just hasn't been the same.
Hey, listen, man. I hope that's not true. Okay. I mean, we're at the. I've got kids too. Okay, and but if this was the situation, my lady would have to understand that. Listen, we are 11 games away from two trophies. I was counting it the other day. That's actually what we're left with. 11 games
Yeah,
until the end of the seasons.
but in
And
the
if we
Premier
manage these
League, it's
11
seven,
games,
huh?
Yeah, so it's seven in the Premier League and four in the Champions League to glory. Okay.
Mm. Well,
Now,
three in the
anyways,
Champions League, isn't it?
as well, it's if you include the second leg, it's the second leg against
Oh,
Sporting, and
okay.
then it's the
Well, and then
two.
the final,
Yeah,
if you're including the final, okay, I get you.
yeah, yeah. So it's literally we have to win four games and then we're Champions League. We're that close. This is why babies just seems like not an adequate excuse. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
but you know
anyways,
when you
whatever the
say
situation
with that
is,
close, like, like, like I don't think you understand what
you,
it
you
takes
can't
to
tell me. You can't tell me. You can smell it, man. You can taste it. It's so come on. It's right there. I
I don't know.
mean,
Hey. Um,
anyway,
yeah, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, Max, but I definitely love to see us get there. You know what I mean? Like, I think the way 2026 has been for me right now, bro. Like, the one thing that could really just put some sort of like sunshine in this year for me would be Arsenal winning um
overweight
silverware. Yeah.
of any kind.
No,
That'll
but
fix a lot of
I tell you
problems.
what, like if we win the Premier League and the Champions League, oh my gosh, like
Hallelujah.
man, man.
Hallelujah. Amen.
You know, yeah, yeah. Look, yeah. Look, I think it would really make me happy, but I don't want to give it that much power as well. I feel like I need to have the natural ability to make myself happy as a person. I can't give
It's too
Arsenal that
late for
much
you,
power,
bro.
man. You
Us,
know?
it's too late for you. You're a part committed. It's in your DNA. You've been supporting. If you're anything like me, you've been supporting Arsenal since the '90s, since the Winterburn, Adams, um, Dixon days. That means, if you think about it, you've been supporting Arsenal for most of your life, okay? Or you've been supporting Arsenal for three-quarters of your life. So you actually don't know what life without. So forget that thing you're talking about, bro. Your happiness, unfortunately, is tied to Arsenal. That's those are cold hard facts. But anyway, let's look into tomorrow's game, man, because this is really what it's about. Oh, while we're still on the injury stuff, Eze
Mm.
is back in training. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Odegaard is out, injured.
I,
So, which then
I
begs the question. Hmm?
I bought Eze in my fantasy team as a differential. I really hope he just comes out tomorrow and just does something like crazy, you know, because
Well, the question I was going to ask is, do you think we might actually see a welcome and but surprising uh, start for Max, just because maybe we don't want to rush Eze back, and also to be fair, Bournemouth's form is not that great. Okay, so in the last six games, in the last seven games, they've drawn six out of them. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
but in their away form is more shocking. Their away form, they have two wins out of the last 13 games, right?
Hmm.
So of these last six games that I'm talking about, six of them were draws and one was a win against Everton some games ago. So I think it's safe to say and assume that they're coming for a draw because that seems to be their thing. They at the risk of sounding like disrespecting or underestimating anybody, I don't think they have that too much of a threat. I think this is a game we can afford to start Max. Do you see that possibly happening?
Look, you can't say they're not too much of a threat. Let's look at our last fixtures, five fixtures against Bournemouth. They haven't been the greatest. They haven't been the
Well, we beat them
greatest at
last
all.
time out. We
You
beat them
know,
last time out. Hmm.
Yeah, we beat them at the beginning of this year at away at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But if you look what happened last year and the season before, they've been a thorn, you know. And damn, I hate to say these things because at times I just end up being right, you know. Just like how I remember making a video about Southampton, saying that Southampton have been a bogey team for us in the past, and then they just go happen and beat us in the FA Cup. So I regret saying that, but it was true anyway, you know. So I wouldn't take Bournemouth lightly at all. I think it's a massive, massive, massive game, Max. And it's one of those games that's going to make a statement as well because people are not 100% convinced after our performance against Sporting, after us losing two cup ties in a row like that. Do you understand? People are not
Yeah.
100% convinced yet. So I feel like
Well, look, I'm not.
I feel like look, it's not as massive as the next Premier League game, which is against City, right? But
Yeah,
it's still a massive game because, like I said, it's one of those teams that we just don't put away comfortably. Bournemouth is one of those teams that we just don't put away comfortably, you know. So
yeah,
it's gonna take a lot out of these boys to make sure that they get that win across the line properly. And look, first game of the game week. I mean, of the day tomorrow. That's not bad, but it's also an early game that side. In London, it's at 12:30. It's a very early
mm,
game, so I hope that doesn't make or a difference in the players' minds or anything. But what I love is the
mm,
fact that at least we're playing before City, which means that
yeah,
when we win, um, all pressure is on them to make sure
yeah.
that
I
they win
mean,
as well. And
so
they
we
playing
could
who,
put
Chelsea this weekend, right?
Chelsea. Yeah, who could possibly do us a favor. So if we win, um, City would be going into that game 12 points behind us. That's good pressure for you.
Yeah,
That's good pressure. So that would be nice if we can manage that. I'm confident that we will.
you know
Um,
they got a double game week next week, City. So
yeah, yeah,
which I'm happy about because then it needs to be clear from like very early now, like how many points ahead we're going to be with these
yeah.
guys. You know what I
About
mean?
doing mathematics and hypotheticals and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, it would be nice if Chelsea could do us a favor because yeah, I know everybody likes to say, let's just focus on our own job and that's great. That's a great thing. But hey man, every bit of help we can get, I'll take it, man. I
Yeah.
mean, and also the sooner we can wrap up the league. Um, I mean, there's a scenario. Imagine uh Chelsea manages a draw, right? And we win. Then the gap will
Mm.
be what? 10 points, right? It'll be 10 points. Is my maths correct?
But
And then
if what?
we beat if Chelsea was to draw against City tomorrow,
Yeah, it'll be 10 points
it'll
with
be
us
10
having a
points.
game at hand.
Well, that's having a game in hand. And then next week, if we beat City, that would be 30, 13 points with about 4 games left. It would all we'd need I think one more win. That's the most sort of optimistic, one of the most optimistic views. But of course,
Mm.
it could be completely different. But let's not try to be Nostradamus and things like this. I think the best that we should ever try to do is predict the lineup. So
Yeah,
how about
look,
that?
I wouldn't. One thing I would definitely wouldn't do is rely on Chelsea to bail us out on anything, right? But I do like to entertain these calculations and stuff. If basically if we beat Bournemouth and Chelsea beat City, and then we go and beat City as well next week,
What done,
um,
Auntie?
then we've won.
Yeah,
But
what done?
we're done. But we know that that's how these things. I mean, these things never play out like that. This is football, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
You don't
just
know what till
like,
it's over.
just like, yeah, just like I don't think it's over for Madrid against Bayern. Like as much as Bayern winning 2-1 on the aggregate in
Sorry,
Champions League,
you mean Madrid?
Madrid.
You mean
Remember,
Atletico?
remember Madrid. Lost to City 3-0 at home and still went to City to the Etihad and beat them 4-3 to win and get through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's just football for you. Like nothing is impossible. I'm not gonna put it past us to drop points still like from now until the end of the season. So man, I just really want us to do well. I want us to really put away these games, no matter how boring and not not pretty the football is. As long as we just get the job done, I'll be happy. I don't know when I'll actually start getting comfortable or and start getting excited. I think maybe at the end of April. At the end of April, I think it's enough to be like, okay, yeah, no, something's happening here. Like, because
Yeah.
man, there's this we've lost this Premier League title in April in previous
Um,
seasons before,
sorry to
So
interject.
for me, we
There's
we
someone
need to get
asking.
it we need to get into May still leading, and then I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, look. Someone's asking in the chat group here, where's the quadruple, dog? I wish I knew. I wish I knew which team he supports, because that's obviously a hater. Don't worry about us. Worry about you. Because if you're a Tottenham fan, maybe you should focus on like survival. And then someone says here, Yax, I'm a Southampton fan. Don't worry,
We'll
don't worry,
smash
guys. We'll
City in
smash
the
City in
cup.
the cup. If you'd be so kind, if you'd be so kind, we would forgive you for what you did to us. Um, but yeah, so back to the game.
Yeah.
Back to tomorrow's game. Um, before we get into to lineup predictions, um, just a little interesting piece of news. There's Fabrizio Romano. If he says it, it's got to be true. He says the Arteta contract extensions talks are going well. Um, he says, what did he say? He said that it will, but they're going to wait until the end of the season, which I interpreted as, yeah,
He
all
has
is
to win
well,
something.
provided
Yeah.
you win. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
don't win, then we've got problems.
Yeah, because
Um,
no, you know why they're saying that as well? Because they know that if imagine giving him like up to like what 2035, right? But I
mhm,
think it's actually up to 2033, by the way. It's up to
okay.
2033. But now imagine giving him that and then he doesn't win any silverware and then the whole fan base like flips out and it's like, no, Ateta out, Ateta out. So they have to get ready to make sure that they're able to give the fans what they want, basically. Because if the fans
Yeah,
all
yeah.
turn and
So
say, look, we're boycotting this team until this manager leaves, then what can the club do
yeah.
besides release the
Look,
guy?
and also if he doesn't win any silverware, it's not just the danger of us rebelling that he runs, but there's also the chance that he might lose the confidence of the
Of
dressing
the
room,
players.
because you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So we have
No,
to, we
absolutely.
definitely have to win. But another thing that Fabrizio mentioned about this contract conversation was that it's obviously dependent on his like some kind of pay increase, which is fair, I think,
Mm.
but also support from the board. And what I took from that is we have not he has not had like spending support. Okay, so the money has
Mm.
been there. We spent a lot of money. I don't think there's anybody who spent, well, one of the top spenders anyway, maybe outside of Liverpool because, you know, but that made me think that it was more about the players that were bought. I think there were some players that were bought against his will. We can debate about that, but up front, I think Gyökeres was not his choice, his first choice, and I'm not even entirely sure about Eze if he wanted Eze, but whatever the case might be, I think what he's basically saying that is that like, what he wants to get back to the system where he is choosing the players that he wants, right? And I'm for that system, right? I'm for that system.
You know,
I
I'm just
appreciate
sorry.
uh,
I'm no, just seeing one of the chats there. These guys are full of it.
who's saying what?
No, this guy's like, can't see you guys losing the PL, to be honest. Okay, but then this guy's like, would be embarrassing if we do win the FA Cup and Arsenal don't win anything.
No, but I think Marty, well, that would be because I think Marty's what Southampton.
Yeah,
So if yeah, look, dude, if Southampton comes out with something and we don't come out with something, I don't, man. Look, if we don't win the Premier League, but we win the Champions League, all I need is silverware in any format. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Look,
Yeah. But
uh,
Marty's not wrong. Marty's not wrong.
yeah.
Marty's not wrong. If we don't win the Premier League, yeah, it would
No,
be.
but we got this. We definitely got this.
I think we got.
Like I said, tomorrow, I do not want to think it's just, man, to be honest with you, the last, the last 5, 10 games, even up to 10, have really been uncomfortable watches.
I was gonna
you know,
say, man, I'd be able to do like a comfortable win, dog. I mean, like, yeah, the last, when was the last time we watched the game and it's like 3-0 at halftime and it's festival time at halftime? You can crack big and celebrate.
it's
We've
been
had
a
our butt
long
clenched
time.
until the end. It's like a lot of late goals, a lot of, you know.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so tomorrow I think it might be the easy win that we're overdue. We're overdue an easy, nice, comfortable win, dude. I think
yeah.
tomorrow is gonna be. I'm putting my money on that. So look, let's go
The lineup.
into the potential lineup. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you lead the dance this time because it seems like a tricky dance. Um,
Um, so Ben White again, right back.
mhm.
Saliba Gabriel in the middle.
Yeah,
Um, Skilly on the left, left
Skelly.
back. Yeah.
Okay, can I just stop you for a second there? White started the other day, right? You
Mm.
don't think they might swap him out for
For who?
Mascara?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. We need White to get back his form. And the reason why we were so worried about White even against Sporting that like seems like they're targeting his side quite a bit. He looked a bit rusty. And I think the
Yeah.
only way to get him back in form and in shape is just by throwing him back in there. So
Well, okay. Well, I was really just asking from a fatigue perspective because it's just the other day that they played. But okay, carry on. Let's go with White.
but
I'm not
yeah,
particularly unhappy
remember
with it.
White hasn't been playing as many games as Timber has, right? So he needs to get it. I mean, yes, fair enough. Like when you say fatigue, because straight after that he was coming from international break, right? Soon and then chucked into 2 games, which were quite big as well. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, look, did he play in the FA Cup when we lost against Southampton?
Yes, I think I believe it did. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hey, he has been playing quite a lot of games, but that's the only way we're gonna get him back in form, you know. Um,
Okay.
and there's rumors that he might, I mean, that Everton want him, by the way. So we'll see how that goes at the end of the season. But I wouldn't want to get rid of him, to be honest. I feel like he can still be a useful player. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, uh, anyway, let's get back to the lineup.
Okay.
Zubimendi and Rice in the middle, right?
As per usual, yeah.
For me, Eze in the in number 10 or Odegaard, like, but he might
No, Odegaard
start.
is
He might.
Odegaard is out. Remember that.
Oh, Odegaard is out
Ode-
again.
Yeah, yeah. He. In fact, he wasn't in training, if I have it correct. So
Come
something's
on.
happened since the sporting game.
Nah,
And
like,
this is what's bothering me. This thing where our players are. Or it may have happened in the sporting game, but this thing where our players are kind of getting injured,
nah,
not
it doesn't even make sense. It's almost like we're trying to give these guys like a free holiday or something. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't understand.
well.
Marty
Yeah,
here says
so
that
Odegaard.
he's not Premier League quality. I don't know who
No,
Marty's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about
he's
who,
talking
Ben
about.
White.
Yeah, he's talking about Ben White. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with the Premier League quality one, but at this point, I'm not sure he's particularly Arsenal quality. We'll have the conversation later. We'll get through. I want us to get through the lineup, but for me, White, I think this is a good time to sell him.
yeah.
Age profile, his stock, but the way I see it, is only going to go down from here. But we'll come back to that. But while we're in the third midfield position, I'd really like to see Max start tomorrow. Just because Eze is kind of just come back, I don't want to rush him back. So I'd like to see, and also, I'm obsessed. I'm a big fan of Max. So I'd like to see Max.
Is it maybe perhaps because he's got the same name as you or something?
No, no, it's actually probably more to do with the fact that he's the best player that we have at the moment.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
get it. I get it, but man, like I think you're trying to put a lot on that boy's shoulders. Hey, like he's not gonna carry us by himself, Max. He's definitely not gonna carry us by himself. That team needs to come together as a team and work together as a team. Max can't be expected to save the day all by himself as a 16-year-old. Doesn't make sense.
But he can
But yeah,
spearhead
anyway,
this
that's
stuff.
my
Like, you
opinion.
look, I'm just looking at, I'm just talking to what I'm seeing right now. Right now, he is, as far as the eye test goes, as far as the metrics go, he's the best player we've got. Okay, he's been the best performing player in the last couple of games, and it's really that simple. The only thing that complicates it is the small issue of his age, right? But age
Mm.
aside, and you are running a meritocracy, Max is the best player right now. Maybe fully on form, Saka is maybe our best player, but right now, Max is our best player. Name one guy better than Max. Last time I gave you a longer list. I allowed you three. Right now, I'm saying give me one guy who's better than Max now. There is none.
If you're comparing it, if you're talking on the basis of form, then yeah, of course, nobody's on form right now. Not even. But for me, I feel like Declan Rice is a world class player as well. But we're just not seeing the best of him. He's not in form right now. So,
Yeah. So
but
Max
it's
is
not.
fresh. He
So
looks ready to,
yes, if you're
you know.
talking about which player is the most in form for us, yes, Max. But Max has still got a long way to go, bro. He's still got some serious games and some serious teams to play against where we're really gonna get to see who that boy is. And if he's really who we think he is as well, you know. So there's still
Okay.
some big games that he needs to be really challenged in. I mean, if you look at teams like Bayern Munich, uh, we beat them 3-1, but if you watch that game, we hardly even managed to like have the ball, but we were just more
Yeah.
clinical than they were. So
Well, look,
we still need to see how Max goes against these big teams and does against these big teams.
Well, look,
So
sure, I can agree with that. I just have never seen, and while this I'll agree that the sample size is small, I've never seen Max not up for it. But we'll see. And I guess we can just put a gentleman's wager on this one and see who the gaffer decides to start tomorrow. You're saying Eze, I'm saying Max. We'll see. Let's move on then. Which is into an interesting position. Let's go to left wing.
yeah,
Martinelli or Trossard?
Martinelli or
Trossard.
Martinelli for me is a super sub. Like he's just proved it in so many games that he's better as a super sub, especially because the players are tired and
Yes.
they don't have the legs to chase him around and stuff. And what we saw him do against Sporting as well, like he came in the second half and when he cut in like that, he beat two players, like he just
Like it
left
was
them like it
standing
was,
still.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
goes in and puts in a good cross for Kai to finish off. So I'd say let's rather play Martinelli as a super sub. So I'll go with Trossard.
Yeah, I also would go with Trossard. I quite like Martinelli as a super sub.
Mm.
Um, Up front, this seems like a perfect Gyökeres game. He thrives
And
against
do you know what I
small
would
teams.
like to see, man? And I don't know why Mikel doesn't do that. I guess he just doesn't want these guys getting injured at the same time or something. I don't know. But I'd like to see Kai at like maybe play there on the left there and see what he could do as well. Because Kai is left footed and he can put in some good crosses when he makes some beautiful runs, like he's a striker you know. So I'd like to see. Yes, we always say that Kai is we've seen him play best in that number 9 position, but I think Kai is naturally an attacker, but we've never really seen what he can do on the wing, because that's still an attacking position. As long as he's in a position where he's able to attack and make his runs, I think he's always effective. So I wouldn't mind seeing Kai at the front on the left and then seeing Yokeris in the middle, and then seeing um Madueko on the right. Oh my gosh, I think that would create hell for defenders, you know.
I it's an interesting thought, but I cannot see that level of experimentation at this point. I just can't see it. I can see theoretically how it could possibly work, but
Okay,
I
so
can't,
well,
I
why would
can't
it be
see.
experimentation? Look, if you look at what happened um in the sporting game, right?
Mhm.
We were playing Kai and Jokeris at the same time.
Yes, but
People
that was
people
more. But
people are saying
but
that Jokeris made the run to open it up for
for
Kai,
Kai.
and I don't know about that, but anyway, yeah.
No, but he was no,
Um,
but that was Kai was more like a second number nine. What do they call it? But where he was basically came in. He was central. He was they were playing like this. Not he wasn't on the flank. On the
yeah.
flank was Martinelli where the cross came from. So if Kai is gonna come in, he might actually come in. They were saying Eze or Max, that might actually be Kai. We might actually get to see Kai and Gyökeres tomorrow. That's actually one thing we didn't consider.
Mm.
Um, and then I suppose the right side picks itself. It's Madueke, because it's either him or Max. Uh, well, it'll be interesting to see what the lineup looks
Mikel
like.
goes with, yeah.
Yeah. The most important thing is 3 points.
The most important thing
Is 3 points.
is the 3 points.
Yeah, securing 3 points.
Your volume sounds a bit low there, bro. I don't know what's.
Uh, Sorry, I've got a call coming in here. Um, yeah. So listen, I'm going to have to love and leave you guys. I've got to go open for some guests and stuff. Professional. Um, but yeah, guys, all the best for tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe for those who are new. And uh, let's hope for the best tomorrow. See you at the top.
Yep. Hashtag thanks for the 3 points.
In advance.
Come on, you Gunners.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.